So in our book, we've got beginner workouts and we're going to run through one together. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we've done our warm up. So we've just done our activation and mobility stuff. You should have too. And now we're good to work out. So the first exercise we're going to do, or exercises, is a superset of step ups and bent leg rows. So we've already adjusted it to the right height. With the step ups, the rep range we're going for is 8, and the bent leg rows we're going to do 12. Okay. Cool? So let's start. So we've got 1 foot on the block. You'll see that Eric shifts his weight forward, and when he steps up, he's focusing on that working leg is doing all the work. Yeah? Good. 2. Nice. Make sure we keep our balance at the top. That's part of the exercise. Good. 4. And a nice thing I like to sort of think about is if there were thorns on the ground behind you, you'd want to land nice and light. Yeah, you wouldn't want to make your toes bleed. So it's a nice little thing to think about, control on the way down. And then after we've done our 8, we're going to switch to the other side. So this one will depend on how you perform this exercise, depends on your A, strength, and B, flexibility. So Eric has pretty good ankle mobility, which means he can lean forward quite well. If you don't, it means you probably can't, and that's going to make you rely a little bit more on your back leg. But just keep in mind, we always want to know what the end goal is, and the step-ups are working towards a pistol, and the pistol means the back leg can't be involved in the movement at all. Good. After we finish our 8, let's go straight into bent leg rows. We're doing the second exercise of our superset, so we're doing our bent leg rows. So we've raised it just a little bit because we've got to make sure our back is a little bit off the floor. So Eric's going to start doing his 12 reps. Cool, and you'll see he's making sure his hips are fully extended, he's getting good height on each rep, and he's not looking at his knees, he's looking at the roof the whole time. That's to keep a nice neutral position. So with this superset, we've done our step ups, then we've done our bent leg rows rather. So that's a lower body, upper body superset. So while our upper body's working, our lower body's resting. That's a format that lets you rest a little bit less and make the workout just a little bit more efficient. So after 12, so we've done our 8 step ups, 12 reps. Now you're going to pause this track, rest 1 minute, and then you're going to do 3 more sets for a total of 4 sets. Okay guys, so now we're on to our second superset. So this superset, we've got a upper body push, which is going to be an incline push-up, and then we've got a hollow body or a dish, which is going to be our core work. Cool? So let's start with the incline push-up. We're going to do 12 reps. Cool? And let's go. So we're making sure our hips don't lead. It's our chest that leads. Our core is tight and our hips follow. Nice, great. You'll also notice Eric doesn't go floppy with his head. And you can see at every extension, he's resetting at lockout, which is really nice. After we've done our 12 reps, we're going to go straight onto the floor and hold a dish for 40 seconds. So before this, we did a lower body and an upper body pull. Now we're on to our push and core. We're getting through our full body. So we hold our dish nice, and we got the timer. Yep, great. And you can see Eric's doing a more advanced variation. Like we've mentioned before, if you don't feel like you can hold this position, you can perform a regress variation where you bring your knees closer to your chest or your arms by your side. But I think Eric can do it for the whole time. And we're 20 seconds down. So after Eric's finished this, that's 1 set down. We're going to do 4 sets total. You're going to try and rest 1 minute between each set. And then we're on to some more core work after. We got 10 seconds and 5 more and time. So now it's time to pause and hit your next 3 sets. All right guys, so we've done our 2 supersets. Now we're gonna go into our core work, okay? So let's do 30-second plank and then let's do a side hold for 15 seconds. And let's actually do it continuous for 3 sets. Okay. We're just gonna do 1 set like normal, but as we've done before, you'll then pause and you'll do your next 2 sets without having any rest, okay? Let's do it. So let's start with our 30-second plank and yep, cool. So pay attention to Eric's position. How he ends after the 30 seconds should be exactly the same as when he begins. So his shoulders are stacked over his elbows. You can see his heels are close together. And if I were to squeeze his stomach, it would be nice and tight. I wouldn't be able to poke it. And we've got another 10 seconds. Good. And after we finish 5, we're gonna go straight into a side hold for 15 seconds. So the easiest way to do the transition is, and let's switch, we bring 1 knuckle to our elbow and then we roll out. Cool. And we're holding this one for 15. Good. And like we mentioned before, if we imagine Eric in this position standing, it should look like he has good posture. And let's switch side. Great. Cool. Let's just show you quickly what sagging hips would look like. Yep. Or what hips too high looks like. Yep. So each of those is exaggerating the movement or not getting quite to the right height. And now you perform 2 more sets. Cool. So now we're nearing the end of the workout. So we're going to do a density circuit. So this means we're going to do slightly higher amount of reps, use less for rest, but we're also going to use slightly easier exercises. For this particular density circuit, we're not going to use the blocks. We're just going to use our body weight and the floor. Cool. It's cool to always remember that's not the magic bullet. There's still valuable stuff to do without the base blocks. Cool. So we're going to do reverse push-ups for 6. Then we're going to do tuck crunches for 10. Then we're going to do body weight squats for 20. Cool. And we're going to see how many rounds we can knock out in a 6-minute block. Right. Cool. So let's start, and I'll tell the guys what they're trying to work on while you work through it. And let's go. Cool. So a density circuit is another way of doing lots of volume, but also tracking how you can improve. So if we keep the time fixed, which is 6 minutes, and today we hit 3 rounds, but tomorrow we hit 4 rounds, then you can see you're becoming more efficient because now you're able to do more work in that same fixed time block. Cool? So another thing to think about would be, I want to rest as little between each exercise. So you can see Eric going from the push-ups to the tuck crunches to the squats, but I also want to perform the exercises perfectly. So when we stand up from the squat, we want to make sure we're standing up with speed, down with control, up with speed. Cool. And Eric's probably going to nail a set in about a minute, so he might be able to get 6 in this 6-minute block. And it's fine if you need to rest or if you can't keep up, but it's just good. We're going to do this one live so you can see how it looks and how someone begins to fatigue towards the latter end. Good. And we're a minute down. Cool, so we got 1 round in flat on a minute. Great. And these are the type of exercises, even though Eric's a bit stronger, we've sort of regressed a little bit, but that's because we know we're going to be doing a lot more reps. So by the end of this 6-minute block, if we've done 6 sets, it probably wouldn't have made much sense to use really, really tough exercises because we probably would be only able to do 1 or 2 sets. So this is all about volume. Good. And like we mentioned before, we're going for good technique. As soon as our technique begins to break down, we've got to have a rest. But right now, Eric's looking pretty good. Good, and we've got 20 seconds to go. We can do it. And good. Nice. 550. No, we got it. 555.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, so that's the workout done. We did our row and step up superset for our upper body pull and then also lower body. Then we did our push up and dish. Yep. That was for our press and for our core. Then we did a little bit more endurance stuff for our core. Then we finished with 3 assistance exercises. Cool. Good. Nice. Okay, so that's a beginner workout done.